it's Natalie from Feasting on Fruit, and I'm really excited to share this recipe with you. It will absolutely amaze you with its rich, fudgy chocolate gooiness, and the ingredient list is rather unusual for a cake. We have 3/4 cup of cacao powder, 1/2 cup of coconut sugar, approximately 1 1/4 cup of frozen blueberries, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I'm going to start by lining the pan with parchment paper. This is really important if you ever want to get your cake back out of the pan after it bakes. This is just a simple way to, rather than having to trace it and draw a circle, if you just press it into the bottom of the pan, you'll get a circle imprint and then you can cut around that. You could line the sides of the pan with parchment paper as well. I'm just going to use a little coconut oil because I didn't feel like doing all that paper strip cutting, but make sure you do one or the other. Now to the actual batter making. I have my 1 1/4 cup frozen blueberries that I have defrosted, and I'm going to puree them in a blender. In my mixing bowl, I'm going to combine the cacao powder, the baking powder, and the coconut sugar. And just give that a little whisk before we add the wet ingredients. Now the vanilla extract and the blueberry puree. You want 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of puree. And make sure you measure it after you blend it, because if you don't have enough, your cake will be too dry, and if you have too much, your cake will be too gooey and fudgy to even call cake. Whisk that all together until you have a batter that looks something like this. I'm using a little 6-inch cake pan, and trust me, this cake is so rich, you do not need a huge cake. Although I did eat about half of this by myself. In the meantime, we're going to make some pretty purple sprinkles. So I have about 1/4 cup of shredded coconut, unsweetened. I didn't actually measure it, but it's something like that. And then you're just going to toss in a handful of blueberries. If you're using frozen blueberries, you want them to be a little defrosted so that the juices will all come out, or you can just give them a little squeeze. You want to end up with pretty purple sprinkles. Now the cake is out of the oven, and this is a really important step. You need to let your cake cool for at least half an hour, I'd say. It's pretty delicate when it's hot. If you really want to make sure that it'll come out cleanly, you can even chill it before you remove it from the pan. I just slid a knife around the edge and then I was really gentle with it. Top it off with some of our lovely sprinkles. These sprinkles didn't end up quite as purple as the ones on my blog. I should have put a little more effort into my blueberry and coconut tossing. Here's our beautiful cake. It looks like cake, but once you put it in your mouth, it melts like just rich chocolate. It's delicious warm, it's delicious cold. It's really good with ice cream or coconut whipped cream or something creamy on top to match all that rich chocolatiness. And it is made from only 5 ingredients and completely high carb, low fat, and vegan. I really hope you try this recipe. I have never tasted anything quite like this cake before. It is amazing. You can find the full recipe at feastingonfruit.com, along with a lot of other high-carb, low-fat, fruity vegan recipes. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to be sure to know when I post a new recipe. And subscribe here on YouTube for lots more recipe videos. Thank you for watching!